And so, AC family, I think you guys know what's coming up next. It's now time for us to officially proceed to the next phase. Brace yourselves, guys. The moment has come to populate this Avatar-themed floating mountains Paludarium and officially bring it to life. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Welcome to the AC family. Enjoy. Welcome to the mystical kingdom called the Ember Islands. It's a truly captivating world, and as you're about to see in this video, we're about to make it even more epic as we populate these great territories with life. You guys will die when you see the beasts we'll be adding into here in a bit. But let's walk through the territory, shall we? I have some things to show you first. The Ember Islands are an archipelago of floating mountains, set to become the grandiose imperial home of our booming pet fire ant colony, called the Phoenix Empire. Each of the mountains are hollow, which will be filled with soil for the fire ants to build their nests in, and they'll be able to scour the expansive rock shelf below the mountains in search of their food. A thick billowing mist envelops the territories, as it does every evening for a few hours to humidify the lands. It isn't always this humid though, as for most of the day, the territories are dry. So, the new vegetation, which has taken root at various locations of the rockscape, have been patiently waiting for the great mists to roll through today. These rockweed plants are eager to grow, spread their seeds, and occupy all possible areas of the region. The fire ants once moved in will be assisting these plants with their seed distribution. Clumps of bushy moss cling to the rocks, bathed by the mist droplets and adding to the land's booming greenery. But the territories are about to get even wetter. Here comes the nightly storm. Its showers roar through, hydrating the Ember Islands and all the vegetation in its path. When the rain ceases, all that's left is the calming sounds of water flowing from springs at the Ember Islands local waterfall. These purified waters from the canister filter cascade down the rocks and through the greenery, falling refreshingly into the pool below. And it's in this pool, AC family, where you will see the Ember Islands' first living creatures. You may be surprised to know that many animal life forms are already living here in these waters. If you look closely, small organisms which were unintentionally introduced into these waters by way of the moss can be seen swimming around, like this cute water flea. And I'm not sure if a mosquito or some other insect had come along and decided to lay its eggs into the pool, but I found what looks like a mosquito larva swimming around the waters, feeding on whatever goodies it could find. In fact, I was certain there were already a plethora of microscopic creatures populating these waters, making use of all this awesome aquatic habitat, full of mosses, rock crevices, and shadowy caves. Which brings me now to our first step to bringing the Ember Islands to life. Now, I'm sure all of you, as am I, can't wait to finally move the Phoenix Empire into these great Ember Islands. However, there is just one problem with that. The fire ants create a lot of garbage. They have leftover insect parts, which they discard. They also produce a lot of poop. And with a constant production of worker ants in the growing colony, they naturally also produce a lot of dead. And as we've seen with the late Fire Nation, my former fire ant colony residing in the Selva de Fuego Paludarium that I used to have, the fire ants dumped all of these unwanteds into the water. It's problematic because the water will also be the fire ants' source of drinking water when it's not raining or misty. It was absolutely imperative that before the ants ever move in, we properly build a stable aquatic system that will be able to handle the Phoenix Empire's volume of biological garbage, poop, and dead. if they so choose to dump it into the waters, so they don't end up literally poisoning themselves to death. Luckily, we were already off to a great start at establishing such a stable water world, as the canister filter I'm using is the same canister filter I used in the Selva de Fuego. So, it contained years' worth of beneficial bacteria to help neutralize poisonous ammonia produced from the ants' refuse and dead. Furthermore, these beneficial neutralizing bacteria also exist in the sand substrate of the pool, as the sands used here have already been cycled from a previous aquarium I had. Finally, the moss are also great natural cleaners of the water. However, even with these provisions, this still wasn't enough to deal with our garbage-producing, pooping, and corpse-dumping Phoenix Empire. The waters needed more beasts to support the cleanup that would be needed once the fire ants are fully moved in, as well as make for a more stable aquatic ecosystem within the pool of these Ember Islands. And so, AC family, after careful thought and consideration, I assembled our super team of water beasts for the pool. AC family, behold our 3 classes of water beasts for the Ember Islands pool. Now guys, remain calm and let's meet our new family members, shall we? First, we have our troop of shrimp. Yes, a group of shrimps is called a troop. And my, is this a great troop. They are Australian amano shrimp, Caridina typus, different from the more common amano shrimp from Japan. But I have used them in my main aquarium, and they are hands down the best at cleanup. As you can probably tell, they're bottom feeders, and will handle the brunt of the bio-waste cleanup in our aquatic habitat. They will be very thorough at eating up decaying organic matter, as well as any algae that might result from water fouled up by ant garbage, poop, or dead bodies. Let's drop in a few pieces of algae wafers. My, they're so eager. What a hungry bunch. With their little pinchers, they break off pieces of the wafer and carry it to their mouth parts to chew and swallow. My hopes is they eat dead ants, which I believe they will. But if not, I'm sure they will do a marvelous job at spot cleaning algae and feeding on dead parts of the moss. They look clear right now, but once they've established, they become an amazing reddish-brown color. I plan on adding more species of shrimp in the coming days, but these guys will be great to start. Next, we move on to this school of cute fish. These are chili rasboras, Boraras brigitae. You might recognize them as I've used them to populate waters in other tanks before. I love them because they are great at keeping waters clean by eating the microscopic creatures and edibles that fall onto the water's surface. They'll also happily feed on pharaoh ants that might try to cross the pool to invade the Ember Islands. And I do wonder if they find ant poop tasty. Let's feed them some fish flakes. I find these fish to be super cute, and you guys will see what I love about them most later, once they start to school and take on their true vivid color in our pool. Right now, they're a bit frazzled by their holding container, so you can't appreciate them as much. But promise, you guys will love what you see once they move into the Ember Islands shortly. And finally, I'm honored to introduce you guys to this magnificent creature. This male betta is one of the most beautiful fish I've ever seen. The moment I saw him, I knew he was for us. His gorgeous fiery flowing fins and metallic blue scales and fin tips were entrancing. Have a look. Isn't he such a gorgeous beast? I chose him because his colors reminded me of the great Leonopteryx beast, Toruk, in the movie Avatar. Should we name him Toruk? Let me know your name suggestions for him in the comments, as well as for our troop of shrimp and school of rasbora fish. And the AC Senate will choose from your name suggestions for all of us to vote on together in the future. The AC Senate, by the way, guys, are a special team of channel supporters that have special rights, inside information, and perks on this channel. You'll see who the AC Senate members are among you in the comments, as they sport badges with various colors next to their names. do be sure to greet and honor these highly dignified members of the AC family. You can click here to learn more about joining the great AC Senate. I gave our betta a few fish flakes to feed on. Now I'm not sure if this betta will eat dead ants falling on the water surface. I suspect he will, which will also help with population control if he decides living fire ants to be a tasty treat. But he will surely feed on aquatic mosquito larvae, which I realized could be an issue, as dengue is a big problem where I live. I know a lot of you had expressed you guys wanted a betta to live in the waters of the Ember Islands, so I'm happy this one is joining our family. And now it was time to move them in. After temperature and drip acclimating them to the Ember Islands waters, I first placed in the rasbora fish. And then, in went our betta. And suddenly, I was captivated by the sight. They were so beautiful. It didn't take the rasbora fish long to realize they were in a huge space and instinctively grouped together to form a school. Our betta immediately began to explore his new watery kingdom and proceeded to scope out the awesome shadowy caves. Our rasboras began to slowly take on their signature red color as they grew more and more excited to move through the pool, hunting for microscopic creatures along the way. Our betta, meanwhile, growing excited as he realized the cave was all his. I couldn't stop watching the scene. Back and forth, the rasboras swam, dancing in the crystal waters of our pool. They particularly loved the purified waters at the waterfall and visited this area often to feed. See, don't they just look stunning when they swim as a school? Love it. If ever one fish got lost, it didn't take them long to find each other. The schooling instinct helps these and many other fish survive, as they can find the best areas to feed together and have more eyes to spot potential dangers. Alright, and finally it was time to add the shrimps. Shrimp take the longest to acclimate, so they went in last. As soon as they were in, like a majestic herd on the move, they began to explore their new mossy pastures. They also took a liking to the shadowy caves, but our betta wasn't having it. This was his territory now. Overall, it was just amazing to see our aquatic creatures interacting together like this. I knew they would be awesome at keeping these waters clean and healthy. I had high hopes for our newly established aquatic ecosystem. In the coming days, I plan on adding Clethon corona snails, autosynclus catfish, various colored cleaner shrimp, and even a dwarf crayfish, all of which are compatible inhabitants within our pool. But that would be in the future, because doing it now could cause an ammonia spike, which would kill everyone. When adding livestock to an aquatic system, it needs to be gradual and planned, so the necessary beneficial bacteria colonies build up. If there are any other creatures you feel might fit well into our aquatic ecosystem here, do let me know in the comments. Perhaps a betta sorority of females for our handsome betta? Whatever the case, for now I was thrilled to see our first 3 groups of aquatic creatures living happily within the waters of our Ember Islands. Lights off. Alright, AC family, and now the moment we've all been waiting for. I think you guys know what's coming up next. The Phoenix Empire has been waiting their entire lives for this very moment. The time has come, AC family, for the Great Phoenix Empire, our fire ants, to finally move in their colony, queen, brood, and all into the floating mountains of the Ember Islands, the majestic new kingdom we've made for them. This was going to be epic. AC family, did you enjoy today's episode? I can't wait for our Phoenix Empire to finally move into this enormous kingdom, and trust me, you won't want to miss this major event of Antiverse history. So do smash that subscribe button and bell icon now, and hit all so you get notified at every upload, because I believe notifications are broken again. Also, don't forget to hit the like button every single time, including now. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. Thank you. AC Inner Colony, I have left a hidden cookie for you here. If you would like to see extended play footage of our new aquatic team members living within the pool, it's so relaxing. So go check it out. And guys, did you know that it's anting season in the Northern Hemisphere? And you don't even need to leave your home to start an ant colony. You can catch pregnant queen ants from the safety of your own backyard, balcony, or open window starting this month. Be sure to visit AntsCanada.com for all your ant keeping and collecting gear shipped to you in a special package from our ant-loving facility in the USA, so you can get the most out of your ant keeping experience. We ship worldwide and also offer full email support if you need our help. We also have a helpful forum and ant colony trading marketplace on the site. Visit AntsCanada.com today. And now it's time for the AC question of the week. Last week we asked, why are little plants with small leaves preferable for this paludarium? Congratulations to Kai Portlock, who answered, smaller plants make the islands look bigger. Congratulations, Kai, you just won a free ultimate ant keeping handbook from our shop. In this week's AC question of the week, we ask, which of today's aquatic creatures is your favorite and why? Leave your answer in the comment section, and you could also win a free ultimate ant keeping handbook from our shop. Hope you can subscribe to the channel as we upload every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video to help us keep making more. It's Ant Love forever.